week's Safety Toolbox talk is on the silent killer. And what we have here are overhead power lines. We cover our safety hazards in our pre-construction safety plans, but a lot of times overhead power lines are forgotten. We mobilize a project and we have either suspended boards or boom lifts and scissors lifts on the projects, maybe even a crane or a lull or a fork truck, and the last thing that the guys think about is overhead power lines. Overhead power lines, typically 50 kV, state in the OSHA standards we need to stay a minimum of 10 feet away. But when you have high voltage overhead power lines in transformers such as those, we need to contact Commonwealth Edison or the utility company and find out how many kV these are to ensure that we're staying a minimum of 10 feet away or possibly needing to stay further away. About 100 construction workers a year are killed by overhead power lines simply by not recognizing that exposure. So as you mobilize your job sites and you're looking at your site logistics, let's make sure we understand that the hazard exists. As you can see, our project manager on this project has already called in the utility company and we've sleeved these, but we do have a meeting with them here on site next week to confirm what kV those transformers are, and then how do we apply ourselves when we have an exposure like this. Is this a safe condition or not? Do not take overhead power lines for granted. They are killers. Pre-plan, 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 right? So we'll get these things covered. We'll come up with a game plan of what scope we can perform in a situation like this. But I want all of us to talk a little bit amongst each other this morning about jobs that we've been on where we may have had a similar exposure and how we engineered out that exposure. Let's have a safe day. Let's have a safe week. Thank you.